Welcome you back now. We'll keep an eye on the situation in Philadelphia. Just to let you know, the news conference we had been checking in with is just wrapping up right now. So we'll move on, talk about some other big stories making news around the world. Time now for your global headlines. Today at the White House, President Obama welcoming leaders of Saudi Arabia to the Oval Office ahead of that Gulf Leaders Summit. He praised the long-standing ties between the U.S. and Saudis. But as you may have heard, the Saudi king skipped the event. The king of Bahrain also skipping the upcoming event. According to reports, he chose to attend a horse show in the United Kingdom instead. The terror group known as ISIS is now claiming responsibility for a deadly attack in Pakistan. Gunmen on motorists opened fire on a bus, killing at least 43 people. Officials say the passengers were all Muslims from a minority Shia sect. And British Prime Minister David Cameron says the UK is looking at new laws aimed at combating Islamic extremism. The government will be able to ban certain organizations under these new provisions. Officials say these groups are responsible for Islamic radicalization in the UK. Retired four-star General Stanley McChrystal joined Newsmax TV and says the U.S. is MIA when it comes to global leadership.
It also signals a lack of or a concern that America is not doing what we used to do. So in reality, I think it's important that we reestablish a level of legitimacy and credibility.
Well, there you go. General McChrystal believes that the U.S. needs to help stabilize specifically the Middle East and North Africa. All right, so the world is on fire, as we've often reported there, but sometimes you just need to laugh a little bit. That's why we turn to our segment called Headlines and Punchlines. Here are some of the better laughs from the last couple nights.
Even if something is successful, later you find out there's controversy about it. There's a guy now writing a book about theories that dispute the White House version of how Osama bin Laden was killed. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Seymour Hersh is the guy's name. So there's a wide variety of theories that don't exactly line up with the White House. So here we have one of those theories for you right here. This is theory number one that may or may not be true. Take a look.
Kangaroo attack. Thanks for watching.
That was one of the theories.
Sorry, the U.S. unemployment rate. Isn't this cool? The unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in nearly 7 years. Yeah, it's interesting. The job sector that's seen the most growth lately is in the field of Republican presidential candidates. That's 40% of the country now running for president as a Republican.
That's right.
You are running, too, as a Republican.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, okay.
I'm on a Chris Christie joke diet, so nothing for me, thanks.
All right, well, you mind if I tell one?
If you must.
Okay. I heard when Wegmans employees ask Chris Christie if he wants paper or plastic, he says, mouth.
Can I tell one?
Sure, if you do that type of stuff.
When the website asks if you want to enable cookies, Chris Christie always clicks, hell yes!
I got one.
You, Mark?
How many Chris Christies does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know.
That depends on how many chicken fingers are in the light bulb.
See how much fun this is, Jimmy? Now, don't you want to tell one? I mean, it's a lot of fun, and we'd all love to hear it, right?
No more, guys. No more. And you didn't even do any good ones. I mean, if you're going to do one, just say, Christie spent $82,000 at a concession stand at MetLife Stadium. Then he turned to his friends and said, do you guys want anything? That's the joke.
Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has been suspended for 4 games as a result of Deflategate. They say it'll be the most time he's spent sitting on the bench since the last time he went shopping with Giselle. It's no small amount of time. You got a 4-game suspension, 4 games off, or as it's known in the NFL, 2 bonus years of life. So it's not all bad.
You know, I got to admit that Chris Christie joke about the $82,000 was pretty good. We'll have more on that story, the $82,000 Chris Christie had at these sporting events, coming up in our You're Not Helping segment coming up later today. Also, we want to update you guys. Apparently, Senate Democrats have now reached a deal to go ahead and reopen debate on the fast-track provision that the president is trying to push through on these trade deals. We'll have more on that coming up here on Newsmax Now. And of course, you can always get the latest on those stories, including the Going Global stories, our global headlines we covered for you just a few moments ago. All that stuff is up on Newsmax.com as well. I'm John Bachman. We got much more coming up here. We're going to have Miranda Kahn join us again. Continue to take a look at the situation in Philadelphia. 7 now dead, and as we heard from the mayor just a few moments ago, they're still working on reunifying people who may be missing, family members in that crash, as the search continues for survivors.